all the fantastic music in this game, and I have to start at one of the few times where there's none. Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time, a whole lot happened. We got a whole whack ton of new espers, and on top of that, Celeste may or may not have betrayed us and then may or may not have saved our lives. Still not sure on that one. Anyway, I'm not going to go into a drastic amount of detail on all the new espers we have because there's no music here and I'd much rather talk while listening to great music. I'm going to go over my setup, however. We finally have an esper that has 2 to a particular stat, this being Bismarck. It also has a very high chance of learning basic elemental spells so that all of my physical fighters will know basic elemental spells, even though I'll never want them to use them. But he's close to gaining a level, Edgar is, so he's got that on. Over here we have Phantom. Phantom makes the party invisible. It inflicts the clear status on all party members. We kind of broke the game with this one, guys. I'm going to show it and show ways that it can be extremely useful. And finally, we have Ga over here with the Shout Esper. It doesn't matter who gets which one, just that, well, you probably want someone with Shout. Just a thought. And my equipment setup is pretty standard. I gave one of the elemental swords to Edgar just because it gives an extra 2 points into magic. Other than that, there's no reason for him to have it. We're set up to steal with Locke, and everyone else is set up for damage. Oh, and I did learn, let's see, float. Come on, go to it. The float spell here for Ga. And, well, it's kind of a good thing. He hasn't learned anything else, but he does have the float spell. Cast that on everyone now, since I probably won't have an option to do it later, and it might be beneficial. And unfortunately, no fourth character, no sprint shoes. Celeste, I've known her since she was a baby. Raised her as if she was my own daughter. But she was forced to become a Magitek knight, and has done some awful things. Now, the translation's not particularly accurate with this one. If I ever see her again, I want to apologize for all of my mistakes. So, well, it may be true that his mistake in basically using her as a test subject in his experiments to create Magitek Knights was kind of one of the reasons why she was sent off and was powerful enough to, she was apparently the one who raised Miranda, the city that we got to visit a couple episodes back. So she's done some terrible things. In the SNES version, he's blaming like the fact that this has happened on, I guess, the Empire. The Empire is forced to do some awful things because she was a Magitek Knight. But in the Game Boy Advance translation, he's putting it all on himself, which I think is a much better change for the character, just because, like, we saw him last time, he was content stripping away all of the life force of these espers in order to give everyone else, these magical powers for the Empire. And now he's decided to completely change his tune, and he's kind of running along with us. Apologize for the way that things turned out. That's not a helpful sound. That's a frightening sound. What? Go? Does that mean die? Not this time. Usually when the enemies tell me to go, they want me to die. And, well, this is a minecart sequence. Now, one of the interesting things about this whole sequence, here we have mag rotors. Pull up my notes, I've got shopping lists and other things on my notepad here. The mag rotors, there's 2 different varieties. The purple one is weak to fire. We can use Templar to inflict some fire damage. There's nothing particularly useful to steal from them. You get a bolt edge. Not that it really makes much difference. Now, if you'll remember the previous episode, we did... there's no choices you can make here. You just you're along for the ride. There are 5 battles that you can encounter here. This is number 2. By having let's use something that targets everybody, like Marshall and Flash. By having one final battle after our boss fight with number 24, with Celeste as the lead party member, one of these fights, I can never remember which one, is guaranteed to have both the red and purple varieties of mag rotors. Or at least that's what I've been told. Now, this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but you'll never get a chance to run into these guys again. So, it's just kind of, I don't know, it's... If you want, like, a perfect game, you want to learn every possible rage, then, well, we learned some things. Not that I care too much about that, but... Yeah, if you want to have every enemy available on the ventilator, then you'll want to do this. Now, I've been told that this works. I'm not sure if like saving and reloading changes that or not. And if I don't run into the red one, that will be rather unfortunate. This should be the last fight. I'm going to reload. I think I made a save state at some point, so I should be able to get back here. Give me a moment. Okay, here we go. You have to not save in between, otherwise it doesn't work, apparently. Alright, so here we're going to use Marshall and Flash. I think they both give you bolt edges. Not that it really matters, but anyway, yeah, I used a save state. I usually, as soon as I save my game, I always make a save state after, just in case something goes way wrong. But anyway, I will skip back to the 5th battle now. And, well, we're going to do something different in the 5th battle. Okay, back to battle number 5. And by the way, these red dudes, let's see, what we want to do in this fight, the 5th battle around here, because there's going to be 5 battles and then something else will happen. We want to set up Phantom now, and then we want to end these guys before they get a chance to do anything, which shouldn't be too difficult because that's what we've been doing all along. The red ones here are, let's see, they are weak to ice. The purple ones were weak to fire, and they absorb ice. Speaking of absorbing ice, all parts of this guy absorb ice. Now, one of the best things about the clear status is it makes you immune to physical attacks. Number 128 has powerful physical attacks. We don't want to be hit with him. The main dude himself has 3,276 HP, and he has both a left blade, for some reason with a space between left and blade, and a right blade with no space. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but they're on the left and right of his body, not left and right of the screen. So yeah, the right blade has 400 HP, the left blade has 700 HP. They're all susceptible to slow, but unfortunately Celeste was the only one I knew that had slow. Whatever am I to do? Well, you could inflict Berserk if you somehow have access to Berserk on the main dude. I don't think I have that at this point. The other 2 parts are susceptible to Death, Condemned, Stop, and Petrified. Also, the main dude, which I believe is this little circular dot here, has something that we really want to steal. But yeah, these guys can cast spells, and that's not what we want. However, these guys are susceptible to petrification, which is what we can do with Shout, which is going to get rid of the other 2 guys. Now, they will respawn, but I'm not worried about them respawning. I do want to steal, though. Now, he will cast Haste. If you happen to have Slow Learned with somebody, then I would recommend you use that. But before we try and kill this guy, we absolutely need to steal. It is imperative. There are only 2 of this item in the entire game. As you can see, he's pretty powerful. Now, unfortunately, we lose access to ways of quickly getting rid of the side guys after we use our summon, because we can only use that once per battle. So unfortunately, we're waiting on Locke, who decided to have his Zidane Steel Rate today. And I don't really have any good ways of healing at the moment, so potion time. And if this starts to take too long, I will do it off screen. Sometimes, like, Locke's Steel Rate is atrocious. He does have the Sneak Ring on, which is pretty much required if you plan on stealing this. And like I said, there's only 2 of these in the game. You really want them. It's a pretty good item. The point of using Phantom is to protect against this guy's physical attacks, which I haven't had to deal with at this point. Well, he does have one more attack called Blaster that you saw, and I got the Tempest Nice. Okay, perfect. All right, we can do other things now instead of dicking around. Yeah, if you get hit with Blaster, it's instant death, so be careful. It's not a fun time. All right, we finally stole. Now, one thing to note, though, is if you're in this battle with the clear status on from Phantom, and you're hit with Blaster, when you're under the clear status, as I've said, your Magic Evade drops to 0. It's the instant game over button and you lose. So yeah, you probably wanted to save, you know, at that save point before we got here. Alright, so I'm going to re-establish this, because I don't want him finishing off Gaw in his weakened form. So yeah, this guy absorbs ice, and he's weak to pretty much nothing. So we're just going to use the most damage we can muster, which is pretty much Martial. And yeah, Shim Sham is scary. We don't want to be hit with that. So let's do this. And I guess you're on potion duty at this point. And that's going to kill him again. Lovely. This game, like the battle is super easy, and it literally is over in like 30 seconds, but the game keeps doing this to me where I can't steal, or I forget to steal, and then everything goes from bad to worse. So yeah, you can use Flash, or you can use Drill. Seriously, video game? You gonna give me a game over here? Oh, well, part of them's back. I bet you I'm probably dead. Like, this is unreal. Unreal, video game. Come on. Like, technically, this is probably one of the more difficult battles you've faced up until now. But at the same time, it shouldn't be difficult at all, as long as you're not getting completely screwed, which apparently I am. Well, I think I'm stuck in a revival loop where you basically have enough time to revive someone, and then it's basically death again. Alright, Marshall. Nope. God. Really? Well, that cuts his HP in half, so that's good. No, it's not what I wanted to do. And there goes my revival. Of all things, please kill him. Well, that's not what I meant, but there we go. We got our first legitimate game over, because everything in this fight went absolutely terribly. Okay, you're just going to keep casting stop on me? There we go. Now I'm done. Video game? Really? I'll be right back. Okay, we're back at pretty much the same point. I've just stolen my item, and now we're just trying to make sure we're not dead here. So we're going to do a little bit of healing, and you might as well become Marshal. If you have Aspic would be your best bet because it's single targeting some of the time, and it'll just do a butt ton of damage. Marshal does... really? Again? Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot that you can do now, unfortunately, other than throw potions, so I guess that's what you're gonna do. Guess we'll rely on Edgar to finish things off. So yeah, there's Drill. Start throwing potions, and we should be good to go. Alright, anytime something else shows up, switch back to Flash. Keep everyone all healed up, and the fight really isn't difficult at all. It's all down to how long it takes Locke to steal. And then if you get screwed over after that, that's, you know, neither here nor there. Yeah, see, the guy probably had like 1 hit of HP left, but I had to spend the entire time trying to revive people instead. Yeah, anyway. This is a unique thing here. We'll get some AP here. This will show up a couple of times in the game. There are drops for the left and right blades. In this case, it's a Phoenix down, but we're not going to get those Phoenix downs. And the reason for this is you'll only get them like when there's a boss there that you kill the main part and it kills all the other ones, which is the case with this guy. You need to kill both the side pieces and the main guy at the same time to get the drops. If you don't kill them at the same time, or if they're already dead when you kill the boss, you don't get drops from them. There is one time where we'll be exploiting this for something that the game does not intend. Anyway, that was fun. Crash! Oh, save point. Not skills. Actually, yes, skills. You don't need Phantom. No, I don't want that. I don't want Phantom anymore. Sure, you can keep doing that. I guess you might as well keep working on that since you're going to level very soon. Alright. Oh yeah, I wanted to equip the relic because I don't like walking. Where are my sprint shoes? There we go. Interestingly enough, you can pop back in here and things are happening in here. Nothing special is happening in here, but like other than things are shaking. But you can actually go back in here. I believe it's blocked later on, but I'm not going to go and explore to find out. Edgar leveled up, so we can take that. That's the wrong one. Get that off you. And I think we'll throw other espers on in a moment. Anyway, down here, there is an encounter that you can find. Now, apparently you could run into, well, here's a chaser. Here's a new enemy. This one is pretty important to run into. All right, I'm going to go for Hazer for lightning elemental damage. Bolt 2, there we go, nice. Now, that should be enough to take him down. The chaser will spawn other dudes in his wake. In this case, we got the other new enemy. You could have run into these guys before, but I didn't, and I knew I was going to get this battle at some point because you want to get this battle before leaving here. It's kind of important. The chaser is weak to bolt and water, and he can cast shell if you leave him around. The trappers here are weak to bolt, water. They are kind of scary. These guys do 3 things: level 3 muddle, level 4 flare, and level 5 doom. Be very careful around these guys, and get rid of them quickly. But yeah, make sure you run into this particular battle formation because this is going to be useful on the veldt. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got that. I'm healed up enough-ish. Where's my tonics? Just blow through the tonics because otherwise I'm never going to use them. And we can hightail it. Wow, I didn't get any more encounters. You can get some other encounters here with some of the same enemies. You can find a chaser with 3 pipsqueaks instead, and that's another battle formation, but that one you don't care about. It's specifically the one with the trappers that you want to find there. Anyway, now that we've done that, Setzer was starting to worry, so he came after us. Celeste is, not here. We'll talk later. We gotta get out of here first. Yeah, you don't want to hang around here when Kefka's going crazy. What a mess. What do you think you're gonna do about it from there? I asked a bad question, didn't I? Is that something really scary, like a giant mech? Yeah, we gotta get out of here on the double. Let's go, go, go. Seems we're a bit too late. Here they come. Yeah, the SNES translation's kind of wonky here. Something horrible is coming. It's getting darker. It's not a mech, it's cranes that somehow stop me from flying away. I don't know how this video game works. There's a rare steal from the right side that's kind of important. We didn't get it, that's fine. Okay, Setzer's in this fight. There's a number of things we can do with this. All right, first things first. Crane on the right has 2300 HP. Crane on the left has 1800 HP. Crane on the right, let's see here. I wrote it down, didn't I? Yes, Crane on the right is weak to water and absorbs bolt. Crane on the left is weak to bolt and water and absorbs fire. So basically the game's saying, use water. Setzer has slots. Slots are unique. There's 2 ways of doing this without it sucking. And the first thing, or the first method of doing these without it sucking for you, is called pause buffering. Basically, set it up like this so that the ability that you're going for, or the part of the slot that you're going for, is up in the top, like the diamond is on the left slot. Unpause and press the A button again right away. In this case, it wasn't up quite high enough. As soon as you get 1, you usually get all 3, but you can pause buffer again. That's a little too low. That's too low. There we go. And the third one is guaranteed like 99% of the time. You'll see it happen where it doesn't happen once or twice, but anyway, there's that. So that'll hit both sides, does a little bit of damage there. And like I said, they're weak to water, so Aqua Form. That didn't work. Let's go for Drill. And we can try and steal from this one, though that doesn't matter. The rare steal that you can get from the right one is a new tool for Edgar that you won't get again for a long time. See, that's kind of what I was talking about. If you see on the left slot there, that's where you want the diamond to be. So unpause, press a button. And usually the second one is guaranteed more often than not. If you don't like pause buffering through the slots, then there is another way around that. And I will... It doesn't work as often. There's the drill. But I will kind of demonstrate. It's more about just having... what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like... oh, what is it? Kind of like a rhythm to your button presses. And that's more of what you're going for. It doesn't work all the time, but more often than me wanting to pause the game to rig the slots, because if you don't rig the slots, it doesn't work very often. Just kind of doing it in a rhythm seems to work for me more often than not. Anyway. worried about Terra. Let's return to Zozo. Oh yeah, Setzer hasn't even been there for that. I'll explain everything on the way. Terra, the Espers, the Returners. That's a lot to explain. Anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today, because once we arrive back here at Zozo, it leads into a very long scene. So that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.